Lightning like Steve McQueen. I'm in the fast lane when the light turns green. And I built tough, I ain't nothing but grit. Cause I made rugged blood, sweat, and spit. Yeah, like a horse I fly. Better push yourself in for a bumpy ride. I like to play hard, but I work harder. And I weather the storm cause I'm built stronger.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back. We are live. It is the Freight Coach Morning Show, the top morning show in transportation, coming to you guys every single weekday, 8:30 a.m. Pacific, 10:30 Central, to break down some industry headlines. And most importantly, provide some actual insight into what you can do with all of this information. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. This is the real side of freight, ladies and gentlemen. And I say that at the beginning of every single show. And what do I mean by that? I mean, I only speak to transportation professionals on this show, as well as my twice-a-week long-form podcast, because I want to speak to the right individuals who have done what you're looking to do or who are currently doing what you're trying to achieve. So you can take that information, apply it, utilize it, and see a meaningful difference in your business and your life. It's one of the many, many reasons why I proudly fly that American flag behind me every single day. A, we're the greatest nation on earth, but B, I'm living my American dream, and I want to help each and every one of you live yours as well. Friday, we are here. Let's go. It is, man, it's been a great couple of weeks here. It really has. It's been busy. Things are picking up. Gabriella Sandoval, good morning to you. Corey Buchan, what's up, brother? TGIF. Yeah, you guys, today it's Q&A day today. So every single Friday that we go live, I dedicate it all to questions and answers for the transportation industry. I get a lot of DMs out there, people asking specific questions, and I don't always have the time to respond to every single one of them. And that's why I take days like today and I just go through a couple of questions. Obviously, I got a couple of DMs that have came through, and I'm going to answer them. But if you guys have any questions you guys want answered on the show, drop them in the chat, you guys. I'll answer them live today. Otherwise, we'll go through the questions that were already DM'd over to me. And that's what we do. You guys, every single Friday is out there. I do have a new episode dropped today as well with my friend John McClymont. And he is, we talk about a lot of last mile and final mile. And it's just more about other niches that are out there, you guys, and that are available in transportation for you to get in, and not necessarily taking the Amazon approach, but getting out there and getting, taking advantage of some opportunities that you might not know, especially from a sales perspective. And that was one of the questions that I got out there, is about, some sales strategies and stuff. And we're gonna talk about all of that. Micah, what is up? Happy Friday to you. Thank you for tuning in. Stuart, the hobby trucker, over on YouTube, good morning. Colin McDonald, Finish Strong Friday. Bill McIntyre, watching over on YouTube as well. Bill, what's up, brother? He's good morning. He says, good morning, everyone. Jesus Gill, let's go, coach, with a chiseled jawline. No, I'm just playing. I'm going to keep saying that. Travis Vaught, what is good, man? Thank you for tuning in on this phenomenal Friday. Yeah, you guys, it's been a great couple of weeks. It really has. It's, if you go, I see so much shit out there all over social media, and the LinkedIn warlords are going to ding me because I swear too much. But frankly, I don't care. I believe in the First Amendment. I'm not offending anybody with speaking reality. There's so much negativity that you see all over in regards to the market and opportunities. And, this is kind of off, one of the questions that I had gotten is, it's on the mental side of business. Stephen Tittle, what is up? Good morning, Q&A day over on YouTube. It's on the mental side of business was the question that I got. And it's dealing with a lot of the highs and the lows, and really a lot of what you see out there. And, one thing caught my eye. I try and limit my exposure on social media because all the posts that I see are just filled with people bitching and complaining. And it's never an intrinsic look about what they're doing wrong in business. It's always external forces, right? It's always the market, or the shippers aren't onboarding. And it's always excuse after excuse after excuse after excuse after excuse. And I'm not saying that there isn't external factors that don't affect your business, but it's not everybody else's fault that your business sucks. All right? It's not. Plain and simple. If your business sucks, you need to look in the mirror first. What are you doing wrong? And that's a tough pill to swallow. It's a really tough pill to swallow because, like I was leading in the show, you guys, like it's been 12 months since we hit the ground running in Freight Coach Logistics to start selling. 12 months. These last 2 weeks, we've done more freight in these last 2 weeks than we did in the month of September and October combined. Okay. Why is that? Why is that? It takes so much longer than you think to get stuff up and running. There is such a false sense of reality out there on social media on what business should look like. And again, I want to clarify, I am only 4 years in, coming up here on 4 years in. I do not have this all figured out. I do not have all the answers, and I am not trying to make it sound this way. But what I do know is posting on social media about how hard everything is, and then they don't look at themselves in the mirror is nauseating, you guys. Because guess what? You're not going to sit there on social media and find direct freight. All right. You're not going to go out there and then customers are going to be like, God, this person's complaining a lot. I should probably give them all my business. That doesn't happen. Getting into that echo chamber mentality, and you can throw this out all across society in the United States right now, getting in that echo chamber mentality and around other people who are justifying why you're not getting the results that you want is only going to lead you down a bad path. You need to accept the fact that it is extremely hard to build a business, right? It is extremely hard to build a business. It's going to be the hardest thing that you're ever going to do. It's the hardest thing that I'm doing right now, hands down. Hands down, this is the absolute hardest thing I have ever gone through, because not only does it affect my mental health, it has affected my physical health at times as well, due to the amount of stress and everything that causes other things that happen, right? This happens. This is part of it. Now, this isn't going to be everybody's experience with it, but this is my experience. All right. I have to work really, really, really hard to probably take somewhat advantage of what others have as a natural skill set. I don't have any natural skill set that I can just walk in and be like, oh, I got this and this to rely on. I have to work really, really fucking hard. Okay. I've struggled with just as much as everything else, as like from an information retention aspect to you name it. I have to work really, really hard. But I told myself that I can't, like, there's nobody that's going to come to save you or your business except for you. So what can you do? And a lot of this is coming up from a conversation that I had with a really good friend of mine. Her podcast is going to be coming out here in a couple of weeks. But, the business that you're going to do, like all the changes that you want, you got to look at like, I would start here, because this is something that I'm committed to. And if you're out there struggling with, your business and the results and everything else, and you're like, you know what, I'm sick of bitching and moaning on social media. I actually am committed to make the changes that I need to change this around. Start with your education of self. When's the last time you picked up a book, right? I focused on that this year. I set out a goal that I was going to read 12 books and I was going to listen to 12 audiobooks. And this is on top of the coaching that I get. This is on top of the podcast that I listen to and the content that I consume out there. What I needed to invest in myself. Like legitimately, I spent, average $20 a book. So we'll just round it up to $500 because I'm terrible at simple math. And I'm going to say it, $500 is probably what I spent on books, audio and physical books this year. That legitimately, some of the strategies that I have learned from those books, no joke, could possibly account for $5 million in revenue in the next 12 to 24 months for me. And I'm not making that up. That is all coming in there because I'm dedicated to investing in myself and my future and my company's future. I take my businesses very, very seriously. I don't treat this as a hobby. This is not Chris Jolly. This is separate from me. So I look at it as I'm technically an employee of myself, right? And I have to make sure that my business is on a constant pursuit of improvement. There is no goal line with me. It's constantly going to push forward, because what got me here, right? What got me to this level right now is not going to get me to a $5 million book of business. What got me to a $5 million book of business is not going to cut it when I hit 50 million and then 500 million. It's a constant state of improvement. It's a constant state of getting better and self-education. And it's treating my business as an actual business right now. Like, again, some of you guys are going to hear what I'm about to say and you're going to laugh, and that's fine. Laugh all you fucking want. Me and my business partner treat our operation as today as a $500 million organization. We have weekly meetings with each other. We have time set across where we talk about strategy, our results, making sure our accountability goals are being met every single week. We take this very, very seriously. And we've implemented this from day one. We focused on the foundation. We take situations that we come across and we look at them as, how do we improve? How do we get better? Because that is the only thing, and that is the only thing that we are concerned about, is how do we get better? How do we improve? And from my perspective, that's what you have to be looking at right now. Because again, if you're not getting the results that you want, I'm not doing anything any different than anybody else. I'm not any more special than anybody else. Yes, I've been doing this job for a very long time. Yes, I know how to cold call. Yes, I know how to cold email, site visits. I know how to do all of that. And frankly, if you guys listen to any of the shows that I put out there, I talk about all of these strategies. I have highly successful individuals who come on this show and talk about these strategies. I mean, you need to follow my guy, Chris Brewer, for example, with River City Logistics. That dude drops gold on LinkedIn all the time. All the time, but that doesn't get any engagement. All the people bitching and moaning about everything else, that gets all the engagement because misery loves company. All right. So all the strategies, all the results, all the tactics that you guys want, we talk about this stuff all the time. It's the application of it, though. It's the fact that you're going to get told no. I haven't onboarded a customer now in probably since, we'll call it October. So if I compound my daily outreach here of where I hit in 3 months, we're looking at, I've been told no close to 4,000 straight times. All right. 4,000 straight times. Because I average about, we'll call it anywhere from 50 to 65 outreaches a day. So that is 250 in a week. So we're looking at, 1,000 a month. So yeah, we'll call it about 3,000 to 4,000 no's that I've gotten in that time frame. All right. That doesn't distract me. I'm going to show up. I'm going to continue to follow up with all my prospects, even after the non-responses and everything else that comes up. I'm not going to take that and look at it as, God, there's no business out there, because there's plenty of business that's out there. The fact of the matter is, I think there's more opportunity now in this market than there has been. But the difference is customers, shippers are not going to put up with subpar service providers. They're not going to put up with any of the bullshit that most people are accustomed to, myself included. I'm a human being. I'm not immune to any of this shitty behavior that brokers are known for out there. I'm guilty of a lot of it in my past. Okay. I've talked about that numerous times. You got to work hard. You got to push through this bullshit, you guys. You really do. And you got to accept the fact of when you make mistakes, you have to own it. Okay. I failed on a load last Friday. I'll put it out there. All right. I failed on a load. It's never going to happen again. It was a situation that we found ourselves in that, you know what, we couldn't even move it for a significant loss. Capacity wasn't there. We didn't even turn down any early losses on that shipment. We just could not find a truck and we failed. All right. I let my shipper know 5 hours prior to their daily close. But after reflecting on that, if that ever happens again, because again, I'm a human being, I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to fail on shipments, just like all of you guys are. Some of you might not admit it, but I do. I fail. I make mistakes. We have, me and my business partner sat down last Saturday. We reassessed our strategy on that. And guess what? We made a change moving forward where we think that in the event that that happens again, when we know that it's not going to move, because my ego got in the way. I knew based on my experience early on in the day that unless somebody calls in for a significant loss, capacity is not there. Because we made like 70 outbound calls. Nobody had capacity. We had to post there for a significant loss. I didn't even get a fuck you price from somebody calling in. It's like, oh, you want me to move that? I need it for X. So we're making those changes and we're going to move on. Right. That's all we can do. We can look at all of these situations and we can make improvements, or I could sit back and blame everybody else. I'll never do that. I'm way far past that in my life. I am the sole reason why my business works or does not work. Or excuse me, I'm the sole reason why my business doesn't work. When my business does work, it's because my team. All right. That's the type of leader. That's my type of mentality that I'm going in. I don't need any credit. All right. I don't need any attaboys or pats on the back. I just need to get better and we need to win. So that's kind of like, that was kind of a ramble, you guys, but I get so frustrated out there when I see a lot of this stuff because I could see how somebody who, like I was talking about yesterday with my man Sean here, striking good looks not included. Appreciate that, brother. When we were talking about that, about how if you're in a pinch financially or you're not getting paid from a certain job that you've done and your back's against the wall and your bills are due here in 15 days and you're owed thousands of dollars and you don't know, I can see how you look at some of these articles that are out there and you're like, fuck it, I'm going to give up. Or you see some of these assholes posting all over social media and that's why you quit. I could see why you would make that. But you didn't start. All of these companies that you admire that are out there have all gone through challenges. All of these business owners that have built large fleets or large brokerages, they've all struggled. I struggle. I struggle more days than not. I come on, I have my job and I do my job every single day, not to 100%, not every single day. I'm a human being, right? But the fact of the matter is most people, when you're in those positions, you look at how do you change? Like I had mentioned yesterday on the show with Sean at Denim, I have a contract now that I operate off of. I don't do handshake agreements with anybody anymore. I might like you, you might like me, but we're going to have a contract, all right? Because you learn. And that's the thing, you guys. You got to learn and move on. Learn and move on. And don't get hung up on the fact that you made a mistake. We all make them. I'm going to fuck up again. All right. I'm a human being, but I'm going to own my mistakes and I'm going to move forward. So that's kind of my little rant on the mental side of business and the reality of it. And, that's just what I go through every single day. And I'm going to just keep showing up and I'm going to keep fighting because I'm not going to quit at all under any circumstances. I am not going to quit. Let me see here. Chandler, my question is, why can't all the load boards agree on trailer codes? I don't know, Chandler. I don't know why there's 75 different acronyms for the same thing, my man. Chandler's another good follower, you guys. He moves a lot of specialized equipment out of Texas. Micah, that is who you need to be in contact with. Micah Campo, meet Micah Campo with the 8-axle RGN out of Texas. Meet Chandler McGon. He's with Next Exit Logistics. The guy has a lot of specialized freight. You guys need to connect. Gabriella Sandoval, preach. And then Stuart, the hobby trucker. I wonder how many people fail in business or life in general because of their ego. Stuart, if I didn't make a lot of changes here over these last couple of years, that I would have been another statistic of somebody who their ego would have got the best of them. And I would have thought it's, oh, poor me, all of that stuff. I think you're really right. Stuart, I would argue the majority of failures is because of ego. Yes, I know you can make an argument to other cases, but I'm not doing that. Catherine Whitehouse says, yes, setting improvement time aside daily is important. That's why I'm here. Thank you, Catherine. I appreciate your support. Stephen Tittle, after 12 years, I'm struggling to not drink at our company party tonight. Oh, man. Steven's got this guy right here may or may not be on a near episode of Coffee with a Freight Coach and talk about building up his company. Just saying. Chandler says, I wanted to keep you going on your rant. That's why I deleted my question. Your question did not delete from our chat stream here, sir. But yeah, my rant is always going to be there. And, and now that I mentioned that, I saw, just as kind of back to, I forgot that I had taken this screenshot this morning. I was reading an article about the the LA Chargers, who got absolutely stomped by the Raiders last night. And I read this quote out, and this is kind of back on the mental side of business. And Khalil Mack, who, if you guys don't know who Khalil Mack is, he's a solid football player. He had said, because they were talking about it, he had said that this was one of the nastiest, ugliest losses of my career. And that while players still believe in their head coach, it doesn't matter. And Khalil Mack said this, and this really hit me. He said, this shit starts within yourself. And if you don't feel this today, and if this doesn't piss you off, I don't know what will. No coach can tell you in these moments anything besides knowing that it's your name on this shit, and that should keep you up at night. And and then it goes on to say, and it was another player. It said, we just got our asses kicked, and that's all that happened. This is the fucking NFL. People get hurt. Shit happens. We got to finish. We got to play better than that. That's really all there is to it. I take full ownership of my performance. It was terrible. There's no excuse, no feeling sorry. And that was in response to them being without a couple of their key players out there. And again, how many, like, I'm guilty of that. How many times that you could find yourself in that situation? Like that stuff, when I hear those messages, that's why there's so many different applicable things between sports in business, right? There's so many different parallels because, again, it is. At the end of the day, it's your name. It's my name on my business license. All right? It's my name. It's Chris Jolly. It's not the freight market of 2023. All right? It's not this other company that has more funding than me. It's Chris fucking Jolly on there. All right? It is my responsibility to make sure my business is running right. It's my responsibility to make the necessary changes in my company if that business is not performing right. And that's why I love that quote. And that's why I wanted to read that out there, you guys, because at the end of the day, no one's going to fucking stop me but me. No data headlines, none of that bullshit is going to stop me. I laugh at a lot of that shit when people are like, oh, it's tough. Of course it's tough. Expect that. I'm not going to let some person who's sitting on the sidelines, all right, who's not in the fucking arena to begin with, dictate how I'm going to go after my business next year. All right. Because if you listen to a lot of these headlines and all these other motherfuckers out there, they're all soft, quit. Right. And this is all ironically coming from people who, not everybody, I want to clarify, but most of the people talking like this are a W-2 employee getting a direct deposit every 2 fucking weeks. I don't have that. All right. I eat what I kill and I love it. And I'm going to take all the challenges of the freight market and the world, and I'm going to bust through those motherfuckers and I'm going to succeed because that is the only option I have. Plan A is going to work. All right. I am fully committed to this. I'm not backing down no matter what any of the fucking experts out there want to say about anything. I got to perform. I have a family to feed, just like all of you probably do as well. I can't look my son in the eye and say, sorry, Dad read a headline that it's going to be tough out there, so I didn't make any calls. And sorry, buddy, those new shoes you wanted aren't going to happen. I don't subscribe to that shit. All right. I truly do not care what the overall narratives that are going to be out there on social media or headlines or anything else. Fuck them. Fuck every single one of them. I'm going to perform. I'm going to succeed. I'm going to make it work. That's my mentality. Yeah, it's going to be tough. Yeah, it's going to be hard. It's going to be the hardest thing you ever do in your entire life, but it will work if you do not stop. All right. It's nobody else's responsibility to make my business successful but me. All right. Rant over, kinda. I don't know if I can even go in and answer another question there because another one was on my sales strategy for 2024. And I think I kind of just laid it all out there in a indirect way. Let me see here. Chandler says, speaking of logistics in sports, I wonder what some of the official logistics supplier of professional sports teams start to disappear because that is mostly done for free. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting to see if I think a lot of that's going to continue, right? Because they have all that stuff built into their marketing budget. They need that all out there. I think, though, that, again, somebody else will step up because there's a lot of opportunity that's out there. No matter what, there's opportunity that's out there, you guys. Somebody out there is going to fuck up at some point in time. And then they're not going to rectify it. They're going to blame other people. They're going to blame something else. And then they're not going to continue to go, right? Like we moved freight last week for 6 different shippers last week. All right. It took a long time to get that, but we got there, right? And if you pay attention to any of the narratives out there, nobody's onboarding anybody, which is bullshit. And it's, for me, it's going to happen, right? It's going to happen. All the results, everything you want is going to happen. It is, Chandler. And Chandler, I'm sorry, man. You called me last night. You were right in the text that you sent me this morning. I will call you. We need to talk because I miss you, Chandler. Chandler's phenomenal, you guys. You guys need to follow him. But Yeah, you guys. On top of that, all the freight that we're moving is one off of green screens. You guys, just want to throw that out there for this beautiful Friday. They're up there in that corner. We just won a shipment while I was on the live stream with you guys. Just so you guys know, I'm actually moving freight. We bid out stuff all the time. We use green screens for all of that. And I just won one of those, and the driver's going to go pick it up and we're going to deliver it same day. We got another driver locked in to load up for us tomorrow morning. And then we got like 6 shipments locked in for next week already as well. So I'm going to go out there and keep executing, you guys. And I want you guys all to do the exact same thing. All right. Stop paying attention to all the bullshit on social media, because it's going to be rampant and it's going to continue. And it's hard, right? Like, I get it. I'm a human being as well. But somebody else's opinion doesn't fucking matter. It's not going to stop me. It's not going to deter me. I'm going to continue to focus on how am I going to improve? How is my business going to improve? And then how can I continue to come and do these shows for you guys, so all of you out there can get some information and make some differences in your business? Because that's what it's all about to me, you guys. I just hope one person every single day hears these shows and gets a value out of it. And then they can make, like I say, that they can take that information, apply it, utilize it, and see a meaningful difference in their business. That's all I'm concerned about. That's why I truly feel like I don't hide from the fact that I'm a man of faith. I truly feel like that's why God put me on this earth, is to utilize my voice to help others. I truly feel that way. And I'm going to do that through my experiences and everything else, and talk to others so we can put the blueprint out there that people can follow to make it through any freight market out there. But that will be it for today, you guys. We will be back on Monday, 8:30 a.m. Pacific, 10:30 Central. As always, if you guys got value in what you heard today, subscribe to the show, you guys. Share it out there to your network, because at the end of the day, that's how we grow, and that's how we help more and more people, is because of each and every one of you. And the fact that if you see value, your network will see value as well. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys, and we'll be talking to you soon.